Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elia, and today I thought it would be fun to talk to you guys basically about my vocal routine, how I upkeep my voice. Before the pandemic, I was definitely singing like 3 to 9 hours a weekend, and also singing throughout the week and recording. But even though I haven't been performing live, I've definitely still kept up my voice because keeping your vocal endurance is super important and necessary, especially if you are a singer or want to be an artist or want to just make covers on YouTube. It's super important to sing and upkeep your voice at all times. So I'm basically just gonna share some of my tips and tricks, kind of like my vocal routine, different things that I stick to at all times pretty much to have my voice fully ready to go just in case, I wanna record a cover or I'm gonna perform or I'm gonna do a show. Especially if this is your craft and you love singing and you wanna get better, making sure that you're maintaining your voice is #1 priority. So if you're excited for this video, then just keep watching, but don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps my channel so much, and I hope you guys enjoy these kinds of videos. Let's get started. Okay, so the #1 thing that you have to focus on with your voice is to make sure that you are staying hydrated all the time. Now, this is not only gonna just benefit your voice, it's gonna benefit your overall being. So I always tell people, drink a lot of water. I know you hear that in a lot of health videos and fitness videos and different things like that, but it's actually extremely important that you maintain your voice as a singer and keep yourself hydrated. So every morning before I drink any coffee or have my matcha, which I'm guilty of, even though we're not supposed to have coffee, I try to have at least 20 ounces of water before I consume anything else. And even then I'll probably drink another 20 ounces before I consume coffee or matcha or any kind of food, anything like that. So you definitely wanna be hydrating your voice and then drinking water throughout the day. I'd say aiming towards a gallon is ideal, but that's a lot of water, so don't feel like you have to drink a gallon starting today. But if you start early, you'll end up drinking more water. You're definitely going to the restroom more, but it's all gonna be super beneficial for your voice. The next thing that I always stick to is a healthy diet. And this is not only to keep my mind and body healthy, but it's also to maintain my vocal cords and make sure that I'm not eating anything that is going to affect them or make them feel tired or make them feel like they're full of mucus. I know it sounds gross, but it's super important. So I stay away from all dairy products. I don't do any milk or yogurt or cheese or anything like that because it's going to lubricate your vocal cords with mucus, and you don't want that at all. That's gonna create those kind of bubbly feelings, especially when you wake up in the morning, when you kind of are clearing your throat and things like that. It's super important to stay away from these kinds of food, especially if you're going to sing. So dairy lives in your body, and mind you, it goes through your vocal cords and it'll stay there for about 3 days. So if you have a performance or you're planning to sing a song, even just record yourself, I would say to stay away from all dairy products for as long as possible, with at least 3 days in advance of no dairy products. I don't know why I got blessed and I just don't like cheese or dairy products. I never have, so I've really just never had it in my diet, but I know that's a hard one for a lot of people to accept, but it creates mucus and it's not gonna be enjoyable to sing. Something else I stay away from are nuts. Almonds are kind of okay, but I tend to mostly just have cashews. If I'm gonna sing, I definitely don't have any nuts of any kind, or popcorn, or anything kind of dry that's gonna get stuck in my vocal cords in the back of my throat, because you're really gonna feel it when you start singing. And whenever I see nuts at a studio or backstage ready for a show, I'm keep those away from me. I'm not allergic. I do love nuts. I love nuts. I'm not allergic to nuts. I just try to stay away from them if I'm gonna sing, because you're gonna really feel that scratchiness in your throat and they're really hard to break down for your body. So it's just better if you stay away from them before you sing. Again, with diet, it's super important to be eating a lot of food that is good for you and actual real food. So I try to stick to lean protein and real vegetables. I don't really do any fried foods. I don't do soda. The carbonation also isn't good for your voice. A lot of things are kind of damaging for the voice if you think about it. And one thing about water that I should have mentioned earlier is that you actually want to drink room temperature water. You don't want to drink ice cold water, and hot water, if you're going to have like tea, is good too, but you also have to be careful if it's too hot because you don't want to burn yourself, because that's going to hurt, obviously. So try to stick to room temperature water for the most part, and if you're going to have a tea, just make sure it's at a comfortable place where you're not going to burn yourself. If you're really serious about singing and getting better and improving, you just have to start focusing on making sure you're eating the right things, because your body is your instrument. Everything you eat, everything you consume, everything you put in your mouth is going through your vocal cords. So they get pretty much everything that you put yourself through. And so you always have to be mindful of that. So I stay away from any area that's like really smoky. I don't hang out with any smokers. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. You have to be careful with alcohol as well, because it's super drying and it's gonna really affect your vocal cords. Even though you always see artists that are always drinking and smoking and partying like crazy and still having a long career, the reality is their voices are probably not what they could have been if they had maintained it. For me, Celine Dion is an incredible example of this. She's almost 70 and she's still killing it and doing world tours and really has maintained her voice through the years. You never really see her smoking or drinking alcohol or doing anything crazy like that. Maybe she does, we don't know, but I would still like to think that she doesn't and has been able to maintain her voice. Now there's other artists such as like Adele, who had to have surgery because she was a smoker on her vocal cords, and she struggles a lot with keeping her pitch, even though Adele is amazing. I don't want anyone to get that twisted. Like, Adele is incredible. My point is to take care of your voice. You only get one set of vocal cords, and once they're gone, they are gone, and you can't get them back, and they're really, really hard to fix, if that makes sense. Like, you can't just get a new pair of vocal cords, so you have to protect the ones that you have. So now we'll get into my vocal routine. So every single day for probably the past like 7 years, I've made sort of a commitment to myself to just make vocalizing part of my daily routine. I treat it as if I'm just gonna shower or brush my teeth or get a workout in. I don't let that slip. So the main thing with vocalizing is staying consistent and making sure that you're improving. And even if you're doing the same vocalizing exercises every single day, you're gonna see how that is just your maintenance level. I like to explain it kind of like working out. So the more you work your vocal muscles, the stronger they're gonna get and the more endurance you're gonna have. So there was a time period when I was a teenager where I felt like tired after just singing one song. And now I can sing up to 3 hours worth of music if I have to. I don't like to sing for 3 hours, but you should be able to sing for as long as possible and it should never hurt. The biggest difference that I have seen in my voice is from vocalizing and maintaining that every single day. At least Monday through Friday, because I'm usually singing on the weekends. Really taking the time to vocalize every single day makes the biggest difference. It's just like practicing an instrument or going to the gym and working out. You really have to put in the time and consistency to see a difference. As cliche as it sounds, of course, practice makes perfect, but it's so true. Like, when that finally clicked for me, I was like, I don't know who I thought I was before. So what I do is I have a playlist on my phone that I can access at any time and on my laptop. Usually when I get in the shower, that's when I vocalize because the acoustics are great and you're also warmed up from the steam of taking a hot shower. Not super hot, but like a warm shower. So it's gonna be really good and hydrating for your voice. I like to vocalize for about 15-20 minutes minimum, and that's just doing kind of like an overall exercise for my entire vocal range. So I like to do exercises that are gonna be the whole vocal range, and that's the chest, the middle voice, and then the head voice. And if I'm feeling crazy afterwards, I like to work on my riffs. I like to maybe focus on my head voice. Some days I'll focus on just my chest voice. But as long as I get that like kind of full body workout, and then I will decide if I want to work on something more specific. And usually after that, I'll play some music and just like sing some songs. If there's any song that I want to practice or cover that day, I start singing it. I start practicing it. And the more I hone in on practicing on a song, the better it gets. If you notice, like when you first hear a song and you try to sing along to it, you're like, that sounds so weird. But if you sing it over and over and over again and really, really think about it and really listen to it, you'll start to notice like you feel more comfortable. Your vocal cords are used to singing those notes and those words, because words can definitely make it more difficult in a sense. So you'll just start to get more familiar with it, and eventually it's kind of like imprinted on your vocal cords and you can sing it like it's the back of your hand. So I usually vocalize every single morning just to kind of keep it as a habit and maintain my voice. If I know I have a show coming up, I will definitely not skip any days. Even on the weekends, I will try and get that in. And if for some reason I forgot and didn't do it in the morning and I'm on my way to a gig, or I'm singing super, super early, like national anthems at 6 in the morning for marathons, I don't know why, but I always end up doing those, then I will vocalize in the car on the way to the gig, at least to get my vocal cords going, because the worst thing to do is to wake up or go to a gig and have not sang at all, even if you don't do specific exercises, but you do, like, you know, you sing along to a song, and then hope that my voice is gonna come out the way I think it is. That's the worst thing to do. Do not do this. Just make sure to warm up at least, even if it's just doing lip trills, which is like this, or doing roller coasters, which is like this. Ooh, ooh. So different things like that, even just like warming up the tongue and warming up the jaw and your lips and the sound and the movement is gonna help you, I promise. So these are just some of the things that I do before a gig, things to maintain my voice, things that make me a better singer, and I hope you guys enjoy these tips. Let me know if you like this kind of video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and it helps so much, and comment down below if you wanna see more videos like this. Also, don't forget to check out my new song. I will link it down below. Love you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.